Before kings wore crowns, before the rivers had names, the gods planted a single tree and cursed whoever tried to rule without law. In the hearts of ancient Itu, where lightning danced on mountain peaks and spirits whispered through baobab roots, two kingdoms balanced on the edge of legend: Oronya, the kingdom of warriors, and Tadwa, the land of seers and storms. They were once brothers, but now bitter enemies. But the gods were not done with them yet. Born beneath twin eclipses, Zalifa came into the world screaming thunder. Her mother died clutching her, eyes wide with terror. The priestesses wept, for no child born during the eclipse of blood and shadow had ever lived long or died peacefully. They called her Omoina, child of fire. In Oronya, a boy trained beneath obsidian cliffs where lions feared to tread. His name was Aremu, and he was a blade disguised as flesh. They said his eyes saw weakness like a hawk sees a dying hen. His sword had never tasted defeat, but his heart had only ever beaten for one name, a name he barely remembered from a dream: Zalifa. When drought struck and crops withered like broken oats, the oracle of the ash tree spoke again, for the first time in 100 years. A lion shall love fire. Fire shall weep for the lion, and through betrayal the skies shall fall. To save their kingdoms, Zalifa and Aremu were bound by prophecy, not by choice. But prophecy never promised them peace, and the gods never play fair. Zalifa met Aremu at the edge of the sacred river, where moonlight turned water to silver. She was cloaked in silence, her eyes fierce and unreadable. Aremu, wrapped in ceremonial gold, bowed not out of duty, but out of something he did not yet understand. They spoke few words. The union was sealed with blood, not by love. But even then, the wind shifted. The people cheered, the elders smiled. But deep in the shadows, someone watched. Someone who remembered the time before the prophecy. Someone who swore vengeance upon both royal lines. Weeks passed. Zalifa and Aremu were strangers in marriage, but comrades in vision. Together, they planned a future where both kingdoms would thrive, but love has its own pace. It came softly when Aremu shielded her from a storm spirit in the forest, when Zalifa healed his wounds with nothing but the chants and her bare hands, when laughter, once foreign, found a home between them. But love too can be a trap. One night, the oracle came to Zalifa in a dream. The lion's heart is brave, but too open. Betrayal will wear a familiar face. She woke with her hand on her chest, where a strange mark had appeared, like roots growing from her skin. A foreign emissary arrived bearing a gift, a spear carved from the ash tree itself, an artifact of immense power. Aremu, trusting, welcomed the stranger. Zalifa, cautious, felt the cold of the gods in her bones. The spear was a curse. That night, Aremu was struck not by blade but by vision. He saw flames devouring Oronya, Zalifa screaming in a storm, his own death unseen and unknown. He told no one. It was a Sharo, Aremu's childhood friend and captain of his guard, who betrayed them. Jealous of the prince, furious that a Tadwa witch sat beside the lion throne, he poisoned the elders against her, spread lies, and spoke of the old curses. Zalifa, heart heavy, saw Aremu's doubt. She fled into the forest, seeking truths from the ash tree itself. There, the tree showed her the full prophecy. If the lion lives, kingdoms fall. If the lion dies, love will live. Tears streamed down her face. The rain did not come, the land cracked, and the people starved. Isharo rose in rebellion, claiming Aremu was cursed by his Tadwa bride. War broke out. Zalifa returned, wielding the ash tree's magic. Her body glowing with ancestral fire, she fell through Isharo's men like a goddess of wrath. But Isharo had one final plan. He poisoned Aremu's blade. In the final battle, Aremu drove that blade through Isharo's heart and moments later stumbled. As the sun rose and the drought finally broke with a roar of rain, Aremu collapsed in Zalifa's arms. His lips trembled with a smile. Now the sky falls. "No!" she sobbed. "No, not like this. We were supposed to rule together." He looked at her one last time. "You will, but for both of us." And then the lion's hair was no more. The rain returned, the land healed, the kingdoms united in mourning and awe. Zalifa ruled alone, not with vengeance, but with vision. The people called her the Flame Queen, but every year on the day the rains came, she returned to the ash tree and wept. "The gods took my love, but they gave me a kingdom. I wonder, was it worth it?" The tree never answered, but its leaves glowed softly like embers in the wind.